This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of North Haven.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Planning and Zoning Commission for May 5th, 2025. My name is Vern Carlson, and I'm the chairman of the commission. We have a relatively short agenda tonight, so we should be getting everybody's here very soon. Before we get started, let me just introduce our staff. Andy Bellavacqua is our town engineer to my extreme right. Next to him is Alan Fredrickson, is our town engineer. To my extreme left is Katanya, is our court reporter. And next to her is Christine Hilton, and she's our staff secretary. Ken?
Hello, I'm Ken Quick. I'm a regular member.
I'm Rod Williams, regular member.
Brian Cummings, secretary.
Mark Parisi, sitting member tonight.
Yep, Mark is an alternate. He'll be sitting in place of Paul Wyman. Paul Wyman is out tonight, so he'll be sitting in place. Okay, with that being said, Alan, is there any changes to the agenda?
There are. Item 1 and item 2 and item 3 and item 5 have been postponed to the June 2nd meeting. So those concern 23 Maiden Lane and 400 Sackett Point Road. So those would be heard next month.
So if there's anyone here for any one of those applications, they're not going to be heard tonight. So I guess it won't be Maiden Lane. If there's anybody here for Maiden Lane, will not be heard tonight. Sackett Point Road will not be heard. The Cam will not be heard. Yeah, that would be it. And the only thing we are going to be is the site plan on Washington Avenue, Bob Sherry of North Haven Auto Body. It's the only application we have tonight. So anything else?
If you're here for 23 Maiden.
No, not 23, it's 536 Washington Avenue.
That's good, that's okay. Those aren't applications, those are changes of use. So we have
Yeah, no.
1,
That's different.
2,
You're right.
3, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Yep, we'll have
You're
all
on,
those,
Joe.
all those, we'll get to those. Okay.
Sorry
Brian,
about that. Yep.
would you read the call for P25-09?
Okay, this is P25-09, site plan application of 265 Washington Avenue, LLC, care of Robert McSherry, applicant and owner, relative to 265 Washington Avenue, map 80, lot 2, plan entitled Improvement Location Survey, property located at 281 Washington Avenue, North Haven, Connecticut, prepared by Cristola Engineering LLC, dated 10/30/17, revised 3/25/25, scale 1 inch equals 30 feet, IL 30 zoning district.
Okay. It's all yours, sir.
So, good evening, Jim Priddy, Cristola Engineering, 420 East Main Street, Branford. I'm representing Mr. McSherry, North Haven Auto Body. This is the main site of his shop. Just on this side, this is Harvey's in the middle, and this is the other lot that Mr. McSherry owns. He stores some cars in here now, so we were made aware of the fact that he needs site plan permit for outdoor storage for the vehicles. There's an existing fenced-in area, partially on pavement, partially on millings, that will remain. The only real changes to the site are some landscape islands we're adding in the front and up against the fence to kind of frame the employee parking area. There should have been, and I talked to the owner about this today, a couple of these spots will get left out in the middle over here so that when they come in, they can pull in this way. This is rather important, this island here, because they have trouble with trucks that are using the hotel parking in this lot, and they don't have permission to do that, so he wants to put this landscape island there. That's it, there's really no other improvements other than we're gonna plant some small trees, for parking, some shrubs in the island, stripe some spaces for some, employee parking. He's not gonna add any lights, to the site.
Mhm.
And, that's really it, we're just
Did
really.
you say
here for
he wants to, what is he gonna do in front there so the trailer trucks can't get in there?
This is a curved island.
Yeah, it's just a berm right there out of macadam, I guess.
No, he's gonna plant it.
He's gonna plant that
He's
in
gonna put an
there?
island there with a couple of trees on the ends and then some shrubs in the middle. To make it look nice, but also to provide somewhat of a barrier.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
They still have their right of way in front of that to get to the,
yeah, I understand that. So, right behind that, where you're gonna put the planting, that is for parking for who?
employees.
Employees only?
Yeah.
No storage of cars, no
The
outside
storage
storage?
of cars will be in the fenced area that's already there.
Okay, so there's no storage in front at all?
Now, that'll be employee parking.
Okay, okay.
This, as you know, you're probably aware, his site's pretty tight, so being
Mhm.
able to park the employees over there makes a big difference.
And that's the current use of it. It just didn't have an approval. But that's where the employees park at this time, at least a cross section of it.
Okay,
We're formalizing what's been done.
yeah, well, you know, I looked at it, but Jim, the side that I was concerned about, well, a little bit more than just one side, but the side facing the hotel,
This side.
that chain link fence there, you know, you could see right through that there, and it does look rather ratty to the hotel.
Oh, in the back here.
Yes, yes. You know, I
Okay.
thought maybe you could put some slats on that, on the fence going down to the whole thing to block it off.
Okay.
Right? I thought so on the front too, but I don't see what the rest of the commission says about it.
Well, I
Brian?
think he's.
I'm sorry?
I don't think he wants it totally privacy, because then police can't see in when they're going by. And
Well, he's gonna have to do something about the looks of it. You know, it isn't
That's
really,
part of the reason why we're adding some landscaping
I-
where there never was.
well, okay, but believe me, Jim, it looks, he's gotta do something with it. So,
Sure.
it's just, they're not gonna do it, because the police gotta open the gate then or something, you know, to get him in there. But Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, Jim, the landscaping on it, the long one on the western side parallels 90, Route 5, yeah. What size trees are you gonna put in there?
So at the end, we have 2-inch caliber trees.
Yeah, but for the shrubs, they're gonna be nice and tall, block, but,
And the shrubs will be, they'll be,
yeah, just so they grow up, because I think what we're trying to do, Route 5 is our main drag, and we really don't want outside storage there at all. And going down there and looking what I saw, even where the employee parking was, there was a car there with 3 wheels, and I don't think anybody drove to work that way. So, that being said, along the side with the hotel, Claret.
Hotel of the week.
Yeah, that's it. And
There
so, there would be shrubs put along that side, taller shrubs too. If you can't do the privacy slats for safety concerns, could you run some nice tall, giant green tulies up around that side just to keep it so it can't be seen?
actually, so the fence doesn't parallel the property line there, so there is some room to plant some shrubs along that side. So, I mean, if it's okay to you, because he's not here, we thought
Yeah.
these other applications were gonna take a while, so he's not here yet.
Yeah.
But if we can make it so that he does either privacy fencing or plantings on that side, then as a condition of approval,
How many spots you gonna lose with the turn-in for the truck? Because you-
just 3.
Because you're gonna be towing vehicles through that area to go
Yeah.
into the gated
But
area
they'll
back.
be able to come straight in and then turn, so it's not, they won't have to make too many movements.
Mark?
Is there I'm sorry, is there
Go ahead.
a restriction, Jim, regarding planting in the gas easement? I realize what exists relative to putting structures in there and the setbacks, but nobody's talking about doing that. But is there any restriction on plantings in that easement?
Yeah, you can't plant any trees I believe, in that. I don't think they talk about like low stuff, you know, that's easily removed, but you can't plant any trees in that.
Jim,
Can you sh-
you're
can
talking
you
about
sh-
that small area, right?
There's a Algonquin gas easement that actually comes up through here. It's a transmission.
That's a
easement that goes through
transmission
that.
line.
Can you
Talking
show
about
us-
the transmission line for a gas line there.
Where that easement intersects the southerly property line?
Over here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there is one tree here, and this is still all trees back here, but in between here is where that gas easement comes through.
Okay. So that would be an area that they would not be able to put
Right. the plant.
screening trees,
Yeah.
okay.
But they could put some for privacy there. Mark?
Well, I'm on board with some sort of privacy because it isn't, you know, for the hotel property, it's not a use that you'd expect out there.
Because of the way that it looks there.
You look at the hotel? I mean, let's be real here, folks.
Bob McSherry.
Maybe they might do something with the hotel in the future.
I've been here 28 years, I ain't done crap with it. I mean, I'm not trying to be that guy, but I'm
Okay.
here because of the hotel. That's
Alright.
my property. And I didn't realize I needed a permit to put up a fence, and I'm not trying to be that guy. But
Okay.
that place, they should just put Velcro nameplates on that goddamn building. It changes every 5 years. North Haven Auburn has been there for 87. And now I've got to confide to them? No.
Okay. Good
I
enough.
mean, the privacy fence, you're talking 20 grand.
It's not them, it's us.
Well, it's us, but somebody complained to you folks, so now it's them. So I understand I gotta deal with you guys now, but I put a lot of money into that building over the years. Been in front of this board a whole bunch of times. I'm all about doing the right thing, but at what point is enough enough? If I gotta put the fence up, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna be happy about it. My kids don't go to school here, and you guys don't pick up my trash.
Now, as far as the fence you're looking for, you were talking about privacy slats in the
Yeah.
existing chain link
That's-
fence.
Oh, the existing, I thought you meant up along the property.
No, no.
So the
I'm
only
not
place-
unreasonable.
Yeah, but
On the
Yeah.
other hand,
I would recommend
On the other
the-
hand, we can get it the way we want it and be happy about
Yeah.
it.
Only thing I'm worried about is the long stretch of fence. What if we use the garland style that looks
Yeah.
like trees?
Yeah.
Because the wind blows through that. I'll apologize, I thought it was the fence coming up the whole line.
No, just,
I'm Irish, bear with me, so it's been a long day.
I think overall, you know, the commission's working consistently throughout the town, everywhere, to,
Yeah.
you know, take every opportunity. And believe me, I understand the hotel situation changing also, right? I'm not happy about that. We don't get an opportunity to force them to make those changes unless they're coming
Oh, I
in,
get it.
something like that. So now here's a time, we just really want to work together and collaborate to make it the best for you,
Agree,
the town.
If it's your,
And-
the fences exist, I got no problem. I'll put in whatever color you want. So,
Rod, hold on, boys.
I just wanna make sure that the millings are behind the employee parking and not where it's like back behind the gate, or like where's the asphalt and the milling start?
The asphalt actually extends into the gated area somewhere.
Yeah.
Kinda like where there's gray as
Yeah,
opposed
the
to white.
shading is the asphalt, and
Okay.
the gate's right here.
I was worried about drainage, so I didn't want to go putting a ton of pavement in.
Makes
And plus
sense.
the gas lines are there, I can't roll on those. You can roll, but no vibratory. Because every time when I put the fence in, the gas company was here the whole time. And I apologize, I didn't realize they needed a permit for a fence, or I would have been here. This would have been a lot easier.
So up in the front where the island would go, the longer island, you know, you're saying, we got the two trees, I don't know, something, but Jim was saying you're intending to do some reasonable sized shrubs more than
Yeah.
just,
And I'm up
Pansies,
to what you
right.
guys want to do with that. I
Yeah.
got to do something that I can hit with a hose occasionally, and there's no water out there. And for the simple fact is if we ever get any more snow, which sooner or later it's going to come back, I say plow that right away going into the hotel, and as I come up the other side, let's be realistic, whatever shrubs are in there are going to take a whooping unless we elevate that thing, and I don't think anybody wants to see an elevated island.
now Vern, you weren't talking, or were you, between the employee parking lot and the hotel property?
No, earlier this afternoon, the last time I looked at your place over there in the front of it, it looked a bit disarray. So I waited an hour, a little later in the day, I went back, it was straightened out. For whatever reason, I don't know, but it looked.
Lunchtime at Arby's.
It looked decent. So, okay. So that part's okay. But I'm concerned about some privacy. You know, you do have cars taken apart. I don't want to say junk cars,
Yeah.
but you got cars taken apart and they're sitting back. They are the most attractive thing to look at.
No.
We're trying to keep the avenue,
I
so,
get it.
not just
That's
you.
why I don't keep them in the front parking lot in front of the shop. That's why they're back
Yeah,
there.
well, you know, we
Yeah.
covered them all up, we wouldn't see them at all. But, you know, I am concerned about the side to show, even the hotel is ratty,
Yeah.
whatever you
I
want
have,
to call
so,
it.
again, I'll apologize for jumping off because I thought I wanted the fence all the way up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm 80 grand into
Well,
fence in that place already,
you know,
so.
you know, those slats are not a killer.
No, they're not. But I mean, I want to get something that the wind will blow through because if you
Right,
look at the slats
exactly.
near my building, it's starting to take the fence over.
They do have
And they're
them.
yelling at me about strapping to the poles, so.
Yep. Rod?
So you're,
Are you good?
you're talking about the side between the outdoor storage area and the hotel?
Correct.
Okay. What about the front where the electric gate is? It's
It's not electric, it's
not-
manual.
Yeah,
No.
where the gate is, are you talking about slats across the front also?
Well, you know, just, if it's doable,
It's doable.
yeah,
mean,
I would
it-
like to put them across there as well.
It's
I said
in that front
the
lot.
only
Yeah,
thing about
just-
the
just
front
a-
is then the police
just-
can't see them when they go by.
Yeah.
I think one of the questions Jim made earlier was that the cops want to get in and take a look, you know, overnight, because you got cars in there and cars
Yeah.
have things people want. So if that island that's, again, parallel to Route 5 there, could have some high arborvitae's blocking what
Yeah.
we'd like the people not to see, then maybe that could avoid some of the slats where the cops could be able to
That's
sit,
the
take a look.
In between the right of way.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I'd rather look at
Plant
shrubs.
shrubs a little
Yeah,
taller.
Slats in
Yeah.
the
Breaks
fence.
the view from the road, but if they pull in here, they can see it.
Yeah. I'd rather that than the slats, because I mean,
We just wanna
arborvitae's
make it look
nice.
Yeah, in the
attractive.
I
front,
get it.
Yeah.
slats
I
along
mean,
the
I want to
front.
block off the cars here too, because if you don't see it from the road, they're not gonna go looking for them.
Yeah.
I mean, fences and cameras and locks are only for honest thieves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
it's just-
Yeah.
Jim, did you see town engineer's, comments and Alan's comments?
I did.
You okay with them?
I think we actually talked about all of it already, except for a couple of housekeeping items.
Okay. So now I understand that you're okay, no
Yeah.
problem.
No, I mean,
Good enough.
you guys have been good to me over the years, so I mean,
Other than
I got a question.
sidewalk.
I'm anxious as you can tell.
Sidewalk waivers. the other
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about
Sidewalk
that,
waiver.
because in front of your shop, there's already sidewalks, so it's only for that lower area, right?
Just the
That we're
guy I
talking
want to
about?
hear from.
Yeah.
So in 2006, I put the sidewalks to nowhere eventually lead somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing ever got done until the gas station came. I get it, but I'm a button that right away and all that to where am I gonna put sidewalks in? Right up in front of the swamp? And I'm
You mean
sorry, the only
you-
one's gonna benefit is the hotel
The right of way that's where the hotel
entrance is, yeah.
entrance and exit, right?
Yeah.
And all traffic goes through that
Yeah.
thing. So strange.
And I mean, two people usually get knocked off every year in Washington Ave, leaving the hotel to go over to Exxon to get their scratch offs or something, so. Because the cops are always at my place looking for the camera footage to see sneakers flying in the air. So, it's terrible, but I mean,
Well, now we want to keep going to Forbes on that side.
Well,
of the
yeah,
sidewalk.
there's- yeah, now
sidewalk
they
to
can get out
Forbes.
there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
But they're not walking that far to the sidewalk, they're coming right through the shrubs and right across the front of our building, so.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put the shrubs in the front. It's doable. We're gonna put the slats on the side.
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna keep the, we're gonna, you saw the town engineer, you got no problem with town engineer
Yeah.
or Alan's, you know, you're gonna stripe it up and keep it neat?
Yeah, well, I
Cause I
mean,
know you always do.
my biggest goal is to try to have my parking lot mine. Every time it snows, there's a tractor trailers everywhere, and I go to plow, I still plow my lot.
Man,
and I-
don't forget you got a big truck stop next door now. They'll-
Yeah, but
they'll go
still,
over there.
they're staying at the hotel, I mean, you know,
Well,
when, you
that's
know,
another
we
thing.
rarely get snow, so everybody loses their goddamn mind around here when it snows now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where we used to drive in feet of it, now they can't drive in inches of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that parking lot becomes like a wasteland. So, and I'm just trying to avoid that. And if you said yourself, you went in the middle of the day, Arby's parking lot, it's like everybody loses their mind and parks diagonally, so. It's
Bob-
rather entertaining.
I mean, you got a lot of cars.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of employees.
I know.
I
got-
seem to
I got
recall
the
seeing
message
a
on that.
Carlson and Son
no,
van over
no,
there.
no,
I don't
don't even
know.
say that.
Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Okay. Ken, you got anything else?
No, I think you guys
Right.
get it, right? If you're gonna work with the town staff to really put the good effort, you want the town to, we've had success by really holding some other sites to a higher standard, and we'd love to have you do the same things.
I get it. And again, I apologize. I didn't realize they needed a permit for a fence. I would have saved all this drama from somebody else's mom and
Yeah.
just got the permit the first time for the fence.
I'm good. Alan? Anything? You good?
No, I'm good now if you're prepared on the,
Well,
to deliberate on the
we'll get it
sidewalks.
straight. Andy, Andy, you got it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm good.
I think we touched on all of Andy's comments.
Okay.
Yeah, the sidewalk's the only thing outstanding at this point.
He wants to
Now,
say-
Bob, now, down the road, you've got enough room in the rear of the parcel, apart from the gas easement, to put a building, correct?
Yeah, but I'm all done building there. I'm getting closer to 60. I mean, enough. I mean, honestly, bigger ain't better. So, maybe the next owner can entertain it. I'm all set for now. So,
N-
if
now-
Arby's comes up and I can grab it, I'll talk about putting something there. But
What year did you buy that police car?
97.
Freddie,
I bought it from Jimmy Robinson, so Freddie sold it to Jimmy.
oh yeah, that's right too, yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm the old fart on the app. Everybody
Wow.
else retired.
Boy, Freddie was
passed.
around there a long time, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
He
no.
was. Ooh.
I felt like a kid, and I don't know more because all the guys that bought me up are gone or moved away.
It wasn't as long, it wasn't there that long as it took to get the quarter panel for the front of my car back in the 70s, so.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, if there's nothing else?
I guess just because the only thing I'd ask in the deliberations is the sidewalk piece. Maybe just explain to me your perspective on it. Because it doesn't really go past the entrance to the hotel, right?
It stops at the swamp.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
Ken, we can take that up in deliberation.
yeah, I mean.
yeah. I wanted to
deliberation-
get their opinion.
But honestly, I mean, if common sense is so common, why is it so hard to find? You put a sidewalk into a hole, they're gonna walk into it. I mean, this is the world we live in.
You don't think they'll turn around and go back the other way?
Not all of them.
So if you would agree that, when you buy Arby's, you'll put.
I'll put
You'll put
sidewalks
the sidewalks
across Washington Ave.
across both.
But I'm not even gonna hit the gas line while I do it.
But you even brought up the perfect example. You said you had the sidewalk to nowhere until Forbes showed up. Now that's part of a long-term plan where that goes into place, right?
Almost
So
20 years, though.
you know what? People have lived
We don't
in
get
town.
chances, Al.
Yeah.
Now the sidewalks
Believe
don't
me.
match, so how come he didn't pour mine to match?
I don't know.
I'm a car guy, I'm
Yeah,
all about
no,
color, so.
But you're a trendsetter. You're
Oh,
a leader
yeah,
in the
yeah,
community
oh,
pocket.
yeah.
It's
Remember the town
important.
engineer at that time? He was awesome.
Easy.
So if Arby's gets redeveloped by you or someone else, and they put
Sooner or
sidewalks
later,
in,
Arby's is gonna go. I mean, it's an underperforming store. It's a corporate-owned store. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody wants to know nothing. So sooner or later, that parcel's gonna go, and then it's gonna be the Wild West as far as who wants it. Because basic property on the ad right now is a hot ticket. There's no room left in the inn. It'll probably be over my budget, so hopefully I don't get a punch neighbor. Only 7 more years and I'm done.
You got anything else, sir, gentlemen?
Nope.
Okay, good. Very good.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Good night.
Thank you.
Close this public hearing, this site plan hearing. Okay. Deliberation, past deliberation, I guess. And we get into other. Change of use. 55 State Street. Alan? Step up. Lady, Alan, you want to step up?
Hi, guys.
I think these ladies are prepared to speak about it, Vern.
I think you can hear me.
If you can give us
All right.
It's
your
for
name and
recording, it's
address.
not
That's
identification.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it. So, 55 State Street used to be Ray's Driving School. I think it's been there, I think it was there for about 30, 40 years. What we're looking to do is have a kid center, mainly for young little girls. The space is huge. I forget exactly the square footage, but it has a big room where we're planning to put stations, like activity for little. Mainly the main aspect of the whole business idea is to make the building like all decorated in like girly decor, paint everything, flowers, have it like somewhere where little girls can go in there and like take pictures. Now we plan to put stations, obviously, for because mainly our idea came from having parties, but like spa parties, like nails, things like that. But come the summer, and parents always looking to find something for their kids to do. We want to be able to have like moms, dads bring in their little girls and have stations where they would do like anything with art, like their hair, their nails, just little of that. But obviously that, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time explaining it, I'm a little nervous. But in reality, it's gonna be a kids center where they go and they have fun, mainly for young little girls. And we are going to advertise for parties. So when they are booked for parties, obviously that space will be set up for obviously like a party event. Kind of like what they have with like the jumping centers and stuff. Like obviously they go in there, they pay $20, $25, $30 per child. They use the facility as what it's supposed to be used for. And then obviously they love it, and then they can book the actual area to have a party of their own. And then that's pretty much ideally what we're trying to do.
Excellent.
Did you get the names?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Talia Pagan, and this is Emily Moline.
Please spell your first name and your last name.
Yes, Talia, Talia, last name Pagan.
And
I'm Emily, Emily, and then Moline, Melin.
Thank you.
So I am not. I know this is like a change of use. There was a lot of we were looking into the parking situation. The other businesses that are actually nearby in that same plaza, they don't have that traffic. So the landlord herself, John and Nancy, they say that parking lot doesn't get used as much. There's like a computer place where people drop off their computers and head off. There's a popsicle place, pop center place, where people just quick popsicle pick up and then leave. And then they have a jewelry spot where you could sell jewelry and things like that. So it's not something that has like, that we don't have that available parking for, because that was, I think, one of the main concerns for the change of use for this.
How much parking do you have?
I believe 25 spaces.
25 you'll have all the time?
I wouldn't, so like I said, it's shared, but it's not like those other businesses that are in that same plaza are not necessarily staying there when they're not necessarily using the parking
I
spaces.
understand,
Yeah.
So how many would you use really that would stay there?
Good evening. The North Haven Library will be closing in 30 minutes. Public computers, copiers, and Wi-Fi will be shutting down in 15 minutes. All purchases for the bookstore and cafe, along with library card applications, must be completed by 7:45. Thank you.
Okay.
So, there would only really be 1 to 2 employees, because it's only gonna be obviously something where parents go in with their child and interacting with the child in our facility, and then someone checking them in and out. So, and then obviously maybe like a helping hand. So that's just 2 employees that would mainly be there at all times. And then as far as obviously our traffic, we're anticipating a good amount of traffic, but not necessarily something that's, people go in there for an hour or 2 when it comes to like a children's center. They're in and out.
what's your busiest time of the week?
I would say the weekends would be the busiest.
Saturday morning,
Yeah.
Oh,
11
yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Are there other uses in there that are gonna conflict with the parking for that?
That's why I feel like it's not a conflict, because those spots, there's a computer spot with, like, you drop off computer parts, you get them fixed. Jewelry, quick, pop-centric, just popsicles and quicks. They never have like a full parking lot, and it's never consistently like, oh, we don't have spaces.
What's your target age?
So I would say anywhere from 3 to like 15 years old. I say 15 because not necessarily for them to go in and interact with like their parents, but if they wanted to have like a party with us, they have like the little robes, the little nail, like maybe 15-year-olds, pop parties would be beneficial for them, but not like on an everyday basis when someone like a 15-year-old come in. It would be mainly like a parent and their child coming in.
So a lot of kids coming in, say 10 and under.
Correct.
So you probably got a lot of people who don't wanna leave their kid there and are gonna stay.
Yes, they're not gonna leave their kid there instead.
So how many events would you say you were gonna be having at any given time?
Huh?
How many events would you say you'd be having in the building at any given time? I mean, you know,
Well,
for parents.
we would only host one party per, if we've had an event and a party, it would be that one party.
Mhm.
But it's not like it has a bunch of different rooms. It has, when you come in, it has the main area, which would essentially be like a waiting room, like where they would have the reception desk, things like that. They have a bathroom to the side, to the right, and then they have like a private room to the right side of it, and we would mainly use that for storage. We're trying to figure out what we're gonna use that, but it's not big. It's just closed off. And then the big main area where it's just an open space. So it's not like we can have like 4 parties going on with 20 different kids in each, it would be like if we had a party, which mainly those parties consist of 10 to 15 kids at a time. Those parties, I don't know if you have kids, but if you take them to jumpy places, they're like limit to 10.
Yeah.
And usually that's the case.
So you'd be looking like for 10 spaces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been there for driving school with Owen recently, and it kind of aligns with that size and things like that. And we've had to go to the parents' class, so it's
Right.
very similar. So
Yeah, and then
it
I
seems
think on the
appropriate.
driving school, they were just, I think their busiest time was like even just the weekends for them, because they were just in and out, or at night, because they did like nighttime. They did like nighttime classes for like the drivers and stuff, so nobody else was using that parking lot during those times other than them.
Well, plus the driver's not driving themselves there because they're learning to drive.
Yeah.
so-
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
Well, the important thing is that when your kid is 16 years old or so, you leave them there and you go
Yes,
somewhere else. So
that's the
that
other
works,
thing.
that's fine. But the littler
Just the
kids, you're
younger
gonna
ones would
stick
be-
Like
around.
under 10, maybe they won't leave, but I think 10 to 15.
Now,
they're
do
not
you need
gonna
any
be
more
staying with
information
parents.
when you got here?
But I would have to say that because they have these kids, like, I'm sure I've had parties where sometimes the parents do, like, they say, hey, you guys can leave the kids. Let's say if they're like 10 years old, hey, you guys can leave and then come back in an hour or two. That's usually okay. Obviously, if they're 3, 4, 5, everybody needs to come and look at their own kid because it's too much for just one parent. But if it's like even 10-year-olds, it's just a little different.
Good enough. You got anything? You good?
I have no
Good. Anything else? Everybody got enough information?
do.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
536 Washington.
Hello. Should I state my name and spell
Yes,
it?
please.
Sharon, S-H-A-R-O-N, Kohary, K-O-H-A-R-Y. So for 536 Washington Avenue, it's currently registered for like office space, and I wanted to see if it's okay to switch it to retail, to put a flower shop / event business there. It's got the parking, and the van would be going in the back, so it wouldn't be in the front causing any disruptance for the other business next to the place, and that's about it. It's just approval to turn it to retail space.
So there's office was in there
Yeah.
prior, okay. So from office to retail. Now, you mentioned a van?
So for a flower shop, we do deliveries, and the van would be pulling right into the back, so it wouldn't be like causing any blockage in the front or anything. So it'd be.
So does the van gas stay there overnight?
Yes, I would park it in one of the parking spots in the front, in front of the business. No?
Well, here's the problem procedurally. There's not necessarily a problem with it, but there's a problem with the process to get that approval.
Okay.
So that constitutes outdoor storage if you're having a vehicle there overnight.
Okay.
If you drive the van home, or someone does, then that's just parking. That's not outdoor storage.
Okay, let me ask, how do you go about getting approval for outdoor storage if I wanted to go about that?
You call Jim Preddy and he does a site plan and he, yeah, it's a site plan approval
Okay.
process. It's unfortunate, we've had people come in for one vehicle in the past and that's
Way too
the
much.
worst
Okay,
case
so-
scenario.
So
but-
to drive the van home is what I'd have to do then? Okay.
I have no questions, so.
Thank you very much.
Okay, quick question. Now, when will I know if it's approved or?
If you stick around
Stick
here
around.
in
Oh,
about
stick around. Stick
12
around for a
minutes.
bit.
I hope, yeah.
Just like the weather, you get it quick.
Thank you very much.
Okay, 139 Middletown Avenue.
I'm Joe Sorrentino, Sorrentino, owner of 139 Middletown Avenue. Charlie's Meat Market is there now on the first floor. He's all done, he retired. He's actually there to the end of the month, but he's closed now. And Tim here wants to open up pretty much the same thing, take out food, take out food things, maybe like Asian food, and like, he'll explain, I guess.
This is at Charlie's?
Yeah, the old Monowese Meat and now
Yep.
Charlie's Meat
Mhm.
Market, and
Okay.
now Tim wants to come in and do like Asian and Vietnamese food, takeout, kind of like what the deli does now, and he could probably explain better.
Yes, basically, my name is Tim Singh.
Did you state your name, sir?
Tim Singh, S-I-E-N-G.
S-I-N-G.
S-I-E-N-G. Yeah, I'm here for my wife because she's in the hospital now. So basically, yes, Joe was as Joe stating that right now Charles Meat Market there. So I'm requesting for a change of use, which is different food, which is put the Thai or Asian food in there plus a little bit of grocery there. It's grocery meaning that it's not rituals or anything. It's just dry food and also like that. So.
It's pretty much what they're doing now, so I
Yes.
don't know if that's necessarily a change of the use, but that's what
It-
they're doing now, groceries slash.
It is, and but the problem is, this is one of those things I call land use creep, okay? So years before Mr. Sorrentino had the meat market in his building, the meat market was down where Rite Aid was. That was Cangiano's Meat Market, okay, that's retail. They sold meat. You bought meat there. You didn't eat anything there. So eventually, Bob Shea takes over the meat market. Rite Aid comes in, buys out the site. Bob Shea moves the business to Joe's building at 139.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden the business kind of starts to morph a little bit, and it's a meat market, but it's other things too. Next thing you know, we got a couple of tables. You got a table outside, you got a couple of tables inside, and it's more of a deli. Nothing wrong with that, but that's a different use. So the gentleman's here for a takeout restaurant. That kind of makes it a change of use. They're requesting to flip it really from retail to takeout restaurant. Nothing wrong with any of it, but
Right.
that's why they're stuck coming here tonight.
Yeah, no, because he has the groceries and, you know, he has all of that, and that's what you plan on doing.
Yes, basically, it's just like I stated, I mean, it's similar to what Charlie has. The only thing that's different is the food types. We put a Thai or Asian food in there, somewhat like Chinese food in there. So, you know, if I have the money, I would buy Charlie's business already. But that's the reason why, you know, I don't have the money, and that's the reason why, you know, I want to change the food type there is because we're familiar with our own food, and you know, not Charlie's food there. So it's taking a lot of time to.
Like Alan said, it's really more the fact that it was never officially approved as Charlie's Meat Market. So we're just trying to straighten out the books more or less, getting everything in line. So the change of food is irrelevant. It's just like I said, more procedural at this point.
Yeah.
Anything else, gentlemen?
No, I think it's.
Okay, thank you very much. You're good. Okay, 117 Washington Avenue.
Sorry. My name is Deborah Jean, Deborah. Last name Jean, Jean. I own Muscle Therapy Wellness Lounge. It's in 565 Washington Ave right now, next to the Breakfast Nook in that plaza. So I had some issues where they had a massage parlor like around the corner. They got shut down, but like the reputation of it affects my business, so I had to like relocate. So I'm going to 117 Washington Ave, and that was the Flower Nook. So I wanted to do a change of use from, I don't know if they were service or retail, but I'm not sure. I think retail maybe.
I think it was, it says flowers, so that would be retail.
I'm sorry.
And your use is?
Wellness. So we do wellness services, holistic wellness. We have infrared sauna and sports rehab. Sorry, I'm like my allergies. So my background is in sports rehabilitation and massage therapy. I've been doing that for 20 years. And I'm from Palm Beach, Florida. So when I came here because of the cold weather. So I like cold. I go to Florida just for golf, and then I come back so when I came here, I started the company because like whenever I have pain somewhere, no one can help me. So I started my company where I help people that are in pain and they want to avoid surgeries and like avoid taking pain medication that's unnecessary. So I do a lot of manual therapy, like massage, but like not like a spa. It's not a spa at all. It's more manual therapy. If someone does not like physical therapists or they don't like chiropractors, they come to me. So I do like a lot of different therapies, like soft tissue work to help. If they have like sciatica, they go to the hospital, they give them pain pills, and I can help them in like 30 minutes, and then they're fine. I help people with MS, Lyme disease. I get referrals from chiropractors, naturopaths, so I get a lot of clients. So if I'm in that location, there's a chiropractor next door, which is my friend, Max, and we refer clients back and forth to each other. So I feel like being in that location would benefit them and myself. And then there's Surge Gym, which is around the corner. So a lot of people work out.
Good evening. The North Haven Library will be closing in 15 minutes. Please begin to make your final selections for checkout at this time. Thank you.
So they work out, they're in pain, so they would see me and they'll come over. I help with that, and my athletic training background as well. I help anyone that's in pain, and what else?
So a doctor provides a service, but a doctor is unquestionably a professional office. So I think what she's looking to have is an office.
It's an office, that's what I'm trying, that's where we're going from?
Yeah.
We're going from retail to office?
Yeah.
Okay,
Pretty much.
good enough. Rod?
No questions, that was very interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
If anyone's in pain or just, come I love you. I have a lot of plans.
When's your slots open?
Every week.
Looking at two people here in constant pain.
Yes.
all the time.
Very-
I know I'm thinking of
very-
myself too.
Stick around, we'll show you pain.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, well, very good, thank you very much, young lady. Okay, 605 Washington.
Hello. Mark Andrucci, 605 Washington Avenue. We're here for a change of use. ANDREUCCI.
So this is another one where you approved, I believe, 7 changes of use for Mr. Andrucci, say 2 months ago or so.
Yeah.
He's got a historic office building, and there were services that had moved in before he purchased the building, and they didn't have a change of use. So this is another one where the individual has been there for how long?
At least 4 years. So what we did was we made the space legal. We put a sink in there
Yeah.
for the health
So again, we're
department
catching up on
rules.
paper.
Then no problem.
Very much so. So requesting change of use from office to service. Again, to add it to the list, and it's a small space, correct? Roughly 200 square feet.
Well, about 400 maybe, if not less.
Any questions, Brian?
No.
Nope. No questions from me.
No.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes care of the change of use at the moment. Correspondence, well, if you want anything. Okay, can I get a motion to go into deliberation?
I'll make a motion to go into deliberations.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, first one up is, P 25-08, and that is Washington Avenue, Robert Macheri. And, he certainly has
You said
yourself
08, it's
quite a
09.
lot. So, what is your,
09, you said 08.
Bill. I want to get a motion to approve with conditions. Can I get that from someone?
I'll make a motion to approve the conditions that we discussed.
I'll get into that. 1 second. Get all the conditions.
I know the conditions over there.
Okay. Get a motion and a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Now, what conditions, Alan, have you got there?
We
I know you got
have
'em.
that is going to add arborvitaes or substantial shrubs in the easterly long island between the 2 trees. You'll put privacy slats in the portion of the fence that buffers the outdoor storage from the hotel. And we'll do no slats in the easterly portion of the fence and the gate.
Right. Okay.
He's gonna add, delete a couple of spaces such that they have access to get into the employee parking area and the outdoor storage area. And they're not adding any particular lighting either. And we've got a couple of odds and ends of requirements. More just graphic.
Do we need to
Well,
discuss the
why don't we get to
sidewalk as
sidewalk
part of
in a
this or
minute?
separate?
You do.
Yeah, we'll get there. I want to get this taken care of. You got anything to add to that?
No, I think as long, you know, I like the substantial shrubs, right, just it's consistent with our plans.
Mark?
Yep.
Okay, okay, so we've got that. Does that take care of all the issues as far as the privacy goes there on the fence?
I think so.
Okay, and then there's asking for a waiver of sidewalks.
Correct.
Now, what is the commission thinking about the waiver of sidewalks?
I have no objection.
No objection.
I'm not a big fan. I kind of want the sidewalks.
Okay.
I'm on that same page too, but you know, what's your thoughts, or?
Well, you know, I went up and looked at it, as I told you before.
Yeah.
And I can see it's gonna dig up an awful big area, and gonna make an awful mess in the front of the place. And he certainly isn't gonna do it now. He's got 9 years to put these sidewalks in. To approve these now, he'll never do them. So I just think it's useless to force him to hold his feet to the fire, to the sidewalk. I think with the privacy fence and the arborvitaes and the things that he's willing to do, I think that'd be satisfactory for me. I know we all want sidewalks, but in this particular case, it's almost small to know, with the exception of just the hotel going over
So
across the street.
This is my thought, and the reason that I kind of thought it would be a good thing is the hotel starts there, and anyone leaving the hotel, if they're gonna someday walk down that street, that would be where the sidewalk started, but, you know.
And I agree with you, but the scale of the project he's proposing, I don't
Yeah.
think falls, you know, to warrant the sidewalks.
Big to
I understand.
You know,
I understand.
I understand what you're saying too, Rod,
Yeah.
about that being the starting point.
certainly is.
Because I don't know how we're ever gonna get anything to go under the bridge. And the problem is, if you're coming southbound and you're gonna get on a 91, I think the average speed of the car is about 85 coming down there and curling up on the highway. And that's, to walk south from the hotel to go to Popeyes.
Well, it's the Popeyes, the CVS. There's definitely a lot, but I
You
rarely see people walk there.
Well,
But
I
it's
don't
not
think
it's not never.
I don't see anybody there, but that's another point.
Yeah.
But to get through there, that's particularly wide in terms of with the radius on that, to allow people to use that arrow, you know, access to that. I guess that's a different problem, you know, for another day.
it
And
is for another
as
day.
as all DOT property, they would have to do something. So, anyway.
Okay. You good?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, listen, I got a motion, and I got a second, with the conditions that's laid out, with, just pay attention, with a waiver of the sidewalks. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Opposed.
I'll oppose it.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna oppose it.
Okay, 3-2.
Yeah.
3-2, the motion carries, so there's no sidewalks. Okay, very good. Okay, we'll move forward to we'll go right over to change of use. 55 State Street. A motion to approve it as it was presented.
I'll move to approve as presented.
Okay,
I'll second it.
okay, I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 536 Washington,
Dolls, dreams.
You're there.
You ever done dolls and granddaughter?
you found out. See how quick you find out? Okay, 536 Washington Avenue. This is, what is this, office to retail? Well,
Flower boutique.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve it.
okay. Have a motion, can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 139 Middletown Avenue. Who wants to,
Good evening, the North Haven Library will be closing in 5 minutes. Please bring all items to check out at this time. Thank you.
he wants to put takeout?
I'll make a motion to approve
Okay,
I'll second
139
it.
Middletown Ave.
okay. We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Who had the second?
I did.
Been quick.
Thanks.
Okay, and we have 117 Washington Avenue.
I'll make a motion to approve 117 Washington
Okay,
Avenue.
that's restaurant to an office, and have a sec, can I get a
I'll
second?
second.
Have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, 605 Washington Avenue, which is going to a service, which was just gonna explain it to us.
Yeah.
Oh, can I get a motion?
I'll motion to 605 Washington Avenue.
I'll second
Okay,
it.
got a motion and a second, Christine, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, very good. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes for April 7th, 2025?
I'll move to approve.
Have a
those
second?
minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anything else to come before the commission? Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.